Hi everyone, so thank you for joining us for this special press conference ahead of Burnley. We've got Scott McTominay here to answer your questions. We've got supporters here from season ticket holders, members, exec club, supporters of clubs from all over the world. So we're really happy to be engaging with supporters this season like this, and we're excited to have Scott. It's the first one we've done, so we'll open it up, the questions, and Scott will take them from you, and then we'll crack on from there. So the first one's from Elliot Mullen.
Hi Scott. How much training have you been doing over the World Cup, and do you think it will be harder to get back playing for players like you who have had a break, or players returning from the World Cup?
That's a good question, Elliot. Yeah, obviously for us it's a very different year in terms of like the World Cup and everything that's been going on. Some of us have had a break and some of us have been training and some of us have been at the World Cup, so it's just good to get everybody back together. And obviously in this day and age with football, you've got to be so fit and athletic, and you can't really have too much time off, so whenever you are away you do have to train as well. So whenever everyone comes back, they're pretty much ready to train again, and then the games come really quick. So good question.
So Jackie Brown.
Hi Scott. How's the squad found the winter break with obviously disappointed we've not been in Qatar, but obviously you've got the warm winter training that you've been in Spain as well, and then the hectic half season ahead.
Yeah, of course, Jackie. It's a difficult one for us because we've never had this experience before and never really had chance to see how the programme works whenever there's a World Cup in the middle of our winter. So for us it's been tough, but as I say, we've got a chance to see a lot of the younger players away in Spain who have done exceptionally well, and obviously I know what it's like whenever you're coming up to the first team and there's a lot of experienced players there. It can be a little bit daunting at times, but they've handled it so well. And as I say, for a squad, it's just good to have everyone back now. We've got a lot of players who are coming back. Obviously, Raphael and Leacher will be the last ones back. They've done extremely so well, and obviously congratulations to Lisandro for winning the World Cup. But we're looking forward to having him back. We can't wait.
Gareth Hilton.
Hi Scott.
Hi mate.
A lot of younger players got a chance when you went to Spain. Which one stood out for you, and what advice would you give to the young players trying to follow your path into the first team?
Yeah, there's obviously we must have had 15 of the so-called younger boys come away with us, and it's good to get them integrated into the team. The ones who stood out is pretty much all of them, because it's not easy coming into a first team group where you've got to come and train so well, but we've got so many good players in the first team at the minute who can help them and stuff like that. A lot of older experienced players, your three goalkeepers for a start, David, Tom Heaton and Martin Dubravka, have helped a lot of the younger boys integrate into the squad. And I feel like now when they go away to Spain and they come back and train with us here, they feel so much more comfortable. We've had some great times away in Spain. We had them all singing in the group, and they loved it. That's part and parcel of getting involved with the first team. I had to do it. Pretty much every younger player has to do that, and it helps them. It brings them out of the shell, and it gives them more confidence when they come and train with us.
Cass Hyde.
Hi Scott. With 5 games over the next 2.5 weeks, and with players returning from the World Cup, how challenging would this run of games be, and when do we expect everyone to be back available?
Yeah, as I say, for us it's difficult to say when everyone's going to be back available, but in this day and age, football, the amount of run of games that we have, like you say, there's so many matches, and for us, the lads who are coming back from the World Cup, they'll have some time off, and then they'll pretty much be ready to train again because they're still fit. It's not like they've not trained for a month and a half. So for us, it's fine. Obviously, for the ones who have had maybe 2-3 weeks holiday in this period, like they're the ones who have to be fit. And the manager said that to us whenever we left, like make sure whoever comes back from the holidays, you need to be fit and ready to train. And everybody's been brilliant.
Laura Dutton.
Considering Burnley's position as league leaders in the Championship, do you anticipate tomorrow being a difficult game?
Yeah, I think every time that we have played Burnley over the years, it's been difficult. Obviously now their style has changed a little bit with the manager and all the rest of it, which goes on behind the scenes. But for us, we'll prepare as we normally do. We've got a lot of players coming back, which we're so happy about, and I'm sure the manager will be as well. And for us, it's an opportunity to go towards the end of the season and win a trophy. And Burnley are a good team, so we know what we have to do.
William Lomas.
Hi Scott. When the game is finished, do you listen to the pundits' views, and if so, does this have much of an impact on you and your team?
No, I feel like it's difficult to be completely away from opinions and all the rest of it that goes on the TV, but I feel like you'd be a fool if you sat in front of the TV after one of your games and sat there and listened to everything that they said, because the only people's opinions who matter is the managers, the coaches, your family and stuff like that. So whatever happens on the TV and the media and whoever says what, you just have to take it on board and not get too high when you do well, not get too low when you don't do so well. So I feel like that's a good one for younger kids as you're growing up. Like, make sure that the only opinions that matter is yourself. You know if you're playing well or not, or you know if you're not doing enough. But just as long as you keep doing all the right things consistently, hard work always does catch up with good timing. So that's one thing that I always go off.
Nick Basran.
Hi Scott. There must be some great things about doing what you do as a profession, but what's the hardest thing about being a professional footballer in this day and age?
I would say, obviously we travel a lot, so you're away from your families and you're away from your friends a lot, so that's difficult. But as time goes on, you get used to it, and they begin to get used to it. So it makes moments whenever you go home and see them like a lot more special and stuff like that. So I feel like I've really got used to the side of going away in the summer for 2-3 weeks, going away twice a week in hotels and stuff like that. But yeah, I would say there's not really a negative side towards it. Like, obviously I love my job. I've always have loved football, and my dad always said to me as a kid, like, if you don't enjoy what you're doing, son, then don't do it. And up until this point, I've always enjoyed it. So that's the way that I look at it.
Mohammed Safran.
Hi Scott.
Hi mate.
You have played like a much forward role during the days in your academy in here, and then right now you're playing in a midfield role in the first team of MUFC, and then at the same time on the Scottish national team you're playing like a defender. May I ask you, like, how do you feel about the whole transition in your career, and what do you think about different roles the managers would ask you to play, and also that what would you think yourself is the best role for you?
Yeah, obviously whenever I was a little bit younger, Warren Joyce, my old reserve team coach, I'm sure many of you will know him, he was so influential for me whenever I was younger. He said to me, for 2 games, you want to play up front because we had no striker? And I was like, yeah, like, no problem, because like that's what he asked. Like, he wanted me to do a job there, and I said, yeah, there's no problem. And I scored. So he was like, I quite like you up front. And I was like, well, yeah, well, I don't. And then after that, I played 1 more game, so I played 3 games in total, and then it was back in midfield. With Scotland as well, I've played like a mixture. I think I've played pretty much half of my games as a right-sided centre-back and half of my games as a midfielder. So, as I say, managers will always come to you with different ideas and say, right, we're playing against this sort of style of play, we're playing against this, can you do this, can you do that? And if you say no, then he's going to look at you and say, well, we need players who can do things like that. So, as I say, yeah, I'm open to pretty much everything, but I'm a midfielder.
John Fitzgibbon.
Hi Scott. You've gone from strength to strength since breaking into the first team. Illustrated that recently, captaining the side in a friendly match. You've captained the side before, which is great credit to yourself. Have you considered captaincy in the future, maybe for United?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of my character. I've always been one who likes to say it how it is, and always one who doesn't shy away from a little bit of responsibility, even whenever it's given to you at a younger age group. So, yeah, obviously our captain is brilliant at the minute, Harry Maguire, and obviously Bruno, David, extremely experienced players in the squad. You've got Rafael Varane as well. So many guys who have been there and done so many things in their career, and obviously I'm looking at them and I want to emulate what they're doing and obviously learn from them. And if that opportunity arises in the future, you never know where it can take you. But as I say, at the minute we've got a great squad and our captain as well.
Rick Clement.
Hi Scott. So from a fan's point of view, there seems to be a bit of a change in approach and in discipline this year. Is that a fair reflection, and if so, what are the sort of changes that the manager and his team have implemented?
Yeah, of course, whenever a manager comes in, the people in the stadium, especially a manager that we've got now, they're going to be so happy and they're going to love seeing the football that we're playing. We've had some amazing games at Old Trafford this year where literally they are the heartbeat of the entire place. It's electric, and obviously for us, listening to it, because you do, like, I don't care what anyone says, like, you do listen to the crowd when you're playing, and you can hear them pushing you. It makes such a difference. And in big games as well, which we've had this year, your Arsenal's, Liverpool's, for example, they're massive games where we have needed that extra push, and sometimes when lads are tired, it's difficult, and obviously the fans do play a massive part in it.
Mohamed Yassin.
Yeah, you basically answered my question on this one. I was going to say that this year Old Trafford has a different feel about it. It's more intimidating. It's louder. It's the loudest it's been in so long. Are players picking up on that, and does it add to the belief in what the manager is trying to do with you and what he's trying to achieve at this club?
I feel like the manager and the coach is the ones who are saying, give the crowd what they want, give the people who are sat in the seats, lift them off the seats, make sure that everything that you do is beneficial towards bringing that crowd with us on a journey. And it's important that we listen to that, and most definitely we can, even before games, sometimes we can hear the crowd, like before we're even putting your socks on, your shin pads on, you can hear the atmosphere building in the stadium. And for us, that's like the most important things. Like, some guys have even stopped it sometimes, been like, listen to what we have to go out to here, we need to perform, and we need to make sure that we give them what they want. And I feel like for us, that's probably one of the most important things. We've got the best fans in the world, home and away, for sure.
Yeah, Alan?
Hi, Scott. I was just going to follow up on that and just basically ask you what the first 7 months with the new manager have been like, and in what way is different to the managers you played for at United before.
Yeah, the first 7 months they've been different. Obviously, whenever we was with the new manager in pre-season, there was a lot of different things that we weren't used to, and then as time goes on, you begin to learn his process and learn how he prepares for games, the way that he puts the team out. It's been brilliant. His coaches are brilliant. Mitchell, obviously we've got Eric Ramsey, Darren Fletcher, people like that, Steve McLaren. They're all a really good group and a good blend in terms of getting the best out of the players, and I feel like we've seen that with the numerous amounts of the players in the first team. The improvement that we've seen in a lot of us has been good. So as I say, for us it's important that we keep listening game by game. We've just got to take it as it comes and obviously keep pushing forward.
John Doherty?
Hi Scott. My question was asked earlier by Mohammed, but thank you for answering that one. I just want to ask, how good was Edison's assist that day? How did you feel when the ball hit the back of the net? And on behalf of all of us, thanks for the moment.
Yeah, I think that's something that I'll never forget. Obviously, I want to do it again. I want moments like that again. And obviously for us, that day was probably one of the craziest days of my life in terms of like the fans and stuff like that. I was actually doing an interview and I could hear the fans singing and stuff like that as I was doing an interview, and it really hit home that day, where I went home and I was like, wow, that was crazy. I've never seen an atmosphere like it in my short career anyway, and that's all thanks to you lot.
Wai Chung?
Hi Scott.
Hi.
In the last Carabao Cup match against Villa, you scored a brilliant goal with a sensation assist by Garnacho. Do you expect you will score more goals this second half of the season? And question number 2, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate Garnacho's prospect in becoming a star player for United?
Yeah, of course. I'll go to the first question first. Yeah, I should score more goals. The manager's actually spoken to me about that and shown me little clips and little ways that I can be more effective in the game, making assists, scoring goals. If you do certain little details, then you can get yourself in them positions more often, and I know that I can do it. I've always liked to fancy myself that I can score goals and do things like that. So yeah, it's important that I keep practicing on stuff like that, and whenever the manager speaks to you, you obviously got to listen and take it all on board, and it's really good information that he's giving you. He's like that with a lot of players, where he'll sit them down and speak through clips of games, and maybe doing this might influence this, and like loads of fine little details that can help players, and obviously give them confidence as well that he's putting his time into us personally and not just in a group scenario as well. And Garnacho, it's difficult one to say with Garnacho. He's a hell of a footballer, and obviously for me, if he keeps his feet on the ground and he keeps learning and keeps wanting to work hard, he can do what he wants in football. He's such a talented player, and obviously for us, we've got to keep the reins on him, keep him humble, and obviously keep him working hard as well.
Dave Rylands?
Hi Scott. At 26 years of age, moving into the prime years of your career, what would you like to achieve in the next 5 years, and what would success look like to you?
Yeah, it's a good question. Obviously, I feel like the prime years in football are obviously between, well, it depends how well you look after yourself, from 26 to 32. In my opinion anyway, I feel like the game's going that sort of way with the longevity and stuff like that. Success will always be winning trophies, and that's the most important thing at this football club, and for us, with the manager that we've got now, we've got a real good opportunity to start that journey. Especially this year, we've got a real good chance to really implement ourselves and really start pushing it. I feel like this is a year where we can go for it. and that's firmly reiterated by all the coaches in the squad that they believe that. I messaged Lissandro the other day and said congratulations, and he was like, we go for the next one, and he just won a World Cup. So that shows the mentality that is in the group.
We've got the last one from Corey Mullen.
What has been the best moment in your career so far? Your debut, your goal against City, or something else?
Yeah, all three of them are like so special to me. I'll never forget all of them. I'll probably say just seeing my family happy, seeing them smile all the time, watching them come to games. Like I would say that's every time I get home and I see my mum and like see the smile on her face and stuff like that. She loves it. Like that's the most that a son could do for in my opinion anyway. So I just love seeing how happy they are, and my grandparents in Scotland watch every game, and that's most definitely every week the best thing that I could have.